الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله
الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله
وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا حبيب الله
وعلى آلك وصحبك يا حبيب الله
الصلاة والسلام عليك يا نبي الله
الصلاة والسلام عليك يا نبي الله
وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا نور الله
وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا نور الله.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to our new program, Young Muslims. MashaAllah, we have our guest with us today and we're going to discuss some beautiful topics. We have on my right Ismail, on my left Rehan, and just in front of me I have Inayat. But before we get onto the main program, we have a question for the viewers. The question today is, how long did it take for the Quran to be fully revealed? Put your answer in the comments below, and mashallah, we might read them out in future episodes. Now we're going to move on to our tilawat from Inayat Ji.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير. الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور. الذي خلق 7 سماوات طباقا ما ترى في خلق الرحمن من تفاوت. صدق الله العظيم.
MashaAllah Azza wa Jal, that was very beautiful. Allah Azza wa Jal give you some more rewards for that. And we should all try reading the Quran every day. You'll see the benefit for yourself. And now we're going to move on to the Nath from Rehan.
صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله وسلم عليك يا حبيب الله مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين والفريقين من عرب ومن أجل مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم هو الحبيب الذي ترجى شفاعته والحبيب الذي ترجى شفاعته لكل هول من الأهوال مقتحم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم يا ربي بالمصطفى بلغ مقاصدنا يا ربي بالمصطفى بلغ مقاصدنا واغفر لنا ما مضى يا واسع الكرم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم.
MashaAllah, that was very beautiful. Our brother Rehan beautifully read Qasida Burda Sharif. This kalam was written by Imam Bosiri, a very famous companion. Now we're going to move on to the first segment of the day, which is called The Best of Us. So today we're gonna discuss about friends. So we're gonna start off with the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam. He states that a man follows the religion of his friend. So each one of us should consider who he makes as a friend. Now, what is a friend? A good friend is the one that loves Allah Azza wa Jal and increases your knowledge and urges you to do good deeds. Now, how many of our friends they don't urge us to do good deeds? They pull us towards the badness, the sins, going out in the parks every day, even if it's namaz time. People they go to read namaz, but their friends, because of their friends, they go into start doing guna.
Gee, like stuff like this, like friends. If good friends encourage you to go to the mosque, read namaz, do good deeds, sit itikaf, stuff like this. But nowadays, you just see friends encourage like yourselves to do bad stuff. Go home, do like bad stuff at home, get your parents upset, and just change your personality the way you're at home.
Gee, our friends, they're key in our life. They tell us, and the good ones, they tell us good and they show us good what to do. But the bads, they do not tell us about Islam. They don't take us to the mosque instead of namaz. When they hear when they know that namaz is going on, they say let's go to the park, which isn't good for us because then our iman gets weaker. Which we need to stay strong for us to be great Muslims.
Yeah, I agree with you there because it's like friends you see nowadays they're always swearing outside, like they don't lower their gaze when they see women. Stuck for Allah, it's not good. You should be telling your friends what's right, what's not right, because if you're not going to tell them what's right and what's wrong, then they're going to think that, oh, my friend's not telling me what to do, so I'll just do what I want. And that's not okay, because they can go do what they want and stuff like that. I mean, it could lead to them going to jail and stuff, and that could lead you into that life.
Yeah, that's what friends. People tend to stick with their friends more than the actual family. Now, what happens is our friends they might be all bad boys doing all this, but we might not do that ourselves. But because we stay with these people, the negative effects comes on us as well. We look bad, and the Prophet sallallahu taala alaihi wasallam says that your best friend is the one who seeing him reminds you of Allah. He has a dari, he wears the imama, he wears the Islamic clothing, he doesn't show his knees out to everyone. Speaking to him increases your knowledge. He always speaking of the Prophet ﷺ, talking about hadith, telling you to urging you to read the Durood Sharif. There's no aimless talking. That's one other thing about bad friends. You talk aimlessly. Rather than talking aimlessly, you could be reading the Durood Sharif, talking about hadith, reading the Quran. There's loads of stuff you could be doing.
You should have friends that remind you of the year after, and if he called you a Maulvi, just don't be friends with them.
Yeah, that's the thing. We should, if they call you stuff like this, the first thing we should do is we should try explaining to them. We should explain to them that look, we're just doing what we've been made for the ibadat of Allah Azza wa Jal, so we should do that. Otherwise, we will regret it a lot if we stay with these people. It says in the Quran, Ya waylata laytani lam attakhidh fulanan khalila. That person would say on the day of judgment, woe to me, I wish I had not taken that one as a friend.
A good friend doesn't make you doesn't call you names, he doesn't talk about like behind your back. And the good friends, they encourage you to do good stuff, which is good, because if you do good stuff, you'd have that habit of doing good in your upper life. Like when you have a habit of doing namaz now, you have the habit of doing it, because like if your friends encourage you to do it, you have this habit now with your friend, then inshallah when you grow up you would have that habit of going to the mosque, reading namaz with your friend. That's what you call a good friend.
Gee, and if we are first, you have to think if we're good friends, and if us as people, if we're good friends, and we should that means we should encourage people to come to the mosque and do good deeds. But if we are bad friends, we should think to ourselves that we need to become righteous and we need to follow the footsteps of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If our friends are bad, we should invite them to the mosque.
Yeah, that's one of the good things that we could do about our friends. Invite them to the masjid. Now, even if your friends don't come, at least you've told them, you've done your job. It's up to them if they want to come to the masjid or not. Yeah, and one other thing is, bad friends. they slowly they'll take you away from your family. You know, your mother might be at home cooking all day for you to, she made whatever she made for you, she made food just for you because she knows you're gonna come home, you're gonna feel hungry, you're gonna eat. But because of your friends, they say, oh, let's go out, let's go here, this new hotel open, let's go eat there. So all that food that your mom made, first of all, you wasted that food, and second of all, your mom is now unhappy and upset. And
Gee, you see, like the like they call you, but your mum's there at home, like saying, "Where is my son?" And the father comes home, like saying, "Where is my son?" But like they're hanging out on the streets, stuck for law, which is not good because like they're not doing good on the streets, selling drugs and like their friends are getting into that habit. Whereas where when they're stuck at home, they're getting into like the good stuff because their parents are telling them what to do, and they're not telling them to go do haram ways. Whereas like your bad friends, they make you go do the haram ways, and then that's gonna end up you going to prison, which is not gonna like help your family because well, your family is gonna be grieving at home, wanting their son or brother and sister home, but you're stuck in a cell because of you followed your bad friend.
And you know when this happens, you know when you get in trouble for doing stuff, what your friends will do, they won't come and help you. They won't try making it right of what they did wrong. They'll just leave you. They'll go away, and then you realize that you made a bad friend. That you should have stuck with other people. You should have stuck with the righteous. You should have stuck with your family.
Gee, this just shows that our friends, they're really important in our life, and without them, we wouldn't live. But the thing is, if we had bad friends, then it's not good for us. But if we had good friends, then it'll be very good for us. And see, our parents, they'll be waiting at home for us. All our parents, our parents, my dad. Let's say you have your dad, and your dad looking for you, coming back from work, and he needs someone to talk to, and but you're out on the streets with your mates, and it's not very good because your parents don't get to see you, and they'll be worried, and they'll be worried in their brain. They'll be they won't be right, won't work right because you're out of the house.
G. A friend he poses danger to your faith and move you away from the remembrance of Allah.
Now, what happens is, yeah, when you're out with your friends, there's a very bad environment. You know, it's all talking aimlessly, swearing, arguing, and then when you come home, that bad environment it comes home with you, and then what you do is you start doing what you do with your friends. You do it at home as well. You know, you don't listen to your parents. You're on your video games all day playing. You don't limit yourself, and that just you know else it makes a bad environment in your house, but also it makes you lack in your productivity. You could be doing something else. You could be doing homework. You could be doing stuff to help the deen or help yourself at least.
You, you
Gee,
know,
it's like it's not haram to play video games. It's just that you have to limit yourself. The timing is needed. Like maybe less the amount you play. So if you play for an hour, limit that to half an hour, and then make the time for you to read. Do good stuff for your parents, and go downstairs or go to your parents and tell them to read namaz with them, and surely they will be happy for you.
Gee, like, think to yourself, have I got good friends? Am I doing good stuff? You think to yourself, have I got good friends? Then if you're thinking straight with them, your friends, and you're like thinking to yourself, what has my friends done for me, and what have they encouraged me to do, and what are they making me do right now, and what can I do better, and can I get rid of these friends and make my life better, and stay at home with my parents, look after them, and even when they're ill, you're probably hanging around in the alleyways with your friends, but why not with your parents? Just think to yourself, when my parents are ill, what do I do? Am I home? Am I looking after them? Am I ringing the doctors? No, I'm out on the streets. Why? Think to yourself, why?
Gee, there's an ayat in the Quran. It says, "Al-akhillau yawma'idhin ba'duhum li ba'din aduwwun illa al-muttaqin." That close friends will be enemies on that day, which is the day of judgment, except for the righteous. Now look at the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His friends, they always stuck next to each other. They always righteous, and you could see from the hadith and from their life stories that they were happy they live very well there with each other, and we should try making our friends like that. We should talk to about hadith, about good to our friends. I have friends who are hafiz. They talk about the Quran. They make you read your namaz. This is how you should have your friends.
Yeah,
See, there's two. It says here that there are two regrets a person will have on the day of judgment, and one of them is not following the path of the Prophet, which is very key, and befriending someone who diverted from the truth. This is just saying that the truth, the friends who speak the truth and who invite you to the mosque and do the good, all the good people, and that's what that's what will happen on the day of judgment.
yeah, because like you heard like so and so like going to prison, but like their mom's coming around to tell like everyone like saying that my son's on the bad path, he's gone to prison. What can I do? Is there anything that I can read to like help him easy? And they're like the thing like I don't the mom's like being there for the child. It's her child. She like understands that pain that because of what he's done, he's gone to prison. But I don't think he understands what he's gonna put his mom through when he's in prison, and he's gonna get beat like probably like get beaten up in there. But, like that's not good. Like why has he done that? He shouldn't have done that. Is like stuff like that you shouldn't do.
Now we need to think to ourselves that who are our friends? Do we have good friends, our friends? But do they take us to the masjid? Do they make us read the Root Sharif? Do they urge us to read the Quran? Or do they make us go out to eat, go do all this swearing, bad stuff, drinking, playing video games? Think about this. Are your friends good? Are you a good friend yourself? You should think about that as well. Now we need to think to ourselves, who are our friends? Are they good people? Do they make us read our namaz? Do they make us read the Quran? Do they make us read the Root Sharif? Do they talk aimlessly? Do they make us play video games? And are we a good friend ourselves? Do we urge our friends to do good as well? One of the best places to find good friends is in the mahol and the environment of Dawat Islami. If you go Madani Kafra, you find amazing friends there. You go in the Ijtima, you find friends there. There's just loads of stuff Dawat Islami is offering for us. We make good friends, we have fun, but we gain sawab, we talk about the deen as well. This is the friends that we should have. Now it's time we move on to our second segment, which is Quranic stories with Ismail.
Today, inshallah, we will be reading a Quranic story about glowing hand. When Allah Azza wa Jal sent Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam to the Pharaoh for guiding him, Allah Azza wa Jal bestowed Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam with two miracles, one of which was the best staff, and the other was the miracle of the glowing hand. When Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam used to put his hand into the neck of his shirt, upon drawing it out, it would begin to glow. When he alayhi salam would place his blessed hand again in the neck of his shirt, it would restore its original condition. The Holy Quran has mentioned this miracle repeatedly in different surahs. For example, it is mentioned in Surah Taha. And place your hand joining with your arm below the armpit. It will come out shining, bright white, not due to any illness. This is one more sign, in order what we may show you our great signs. This miracle is known as the glowing hand, and it is a unique and a wonderful miracle. Sayyidina Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anha has stated that during the day and night, Nur would radiate from the scared hand of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, and it radiates from the sun.
MashaAllah, that was a very beautiful story. Now moving on to our third segment, which is called The Key to Paradise.
The seven Fard acts in namaz, which I'm going to say now. So the first one is Takbir Tahrima, which is uttering Allahu Akbar. This is compulsory for the namaz to begin. If it's not uttered, your namaz hasn't even started. The second one is Qiyam, standing straight. Your back must be straight and you must be standing up. Sitting down and offering salah with a valid reason is not allowed. Without a valid reason is not allowed. A person can only sit if they have severe problems or unable to stand or do sajda. The third one is qira'at, reciting the Holy Quran. Every word must be pronounced correctly and loud enough that the person praying can hear themselves. Not doing qira'at correctly or loud enough can invalidate your salah. The fourth one is ruku, bending forward. The least level of ruku is to bend forward to such an extent that your hands can reach your knees when stretched. You should try to keep your back fully straight when doing ruku. Number 5 is sujood. Doing 2 sajdas in each rak'ah is farz. 7 bones must touch the ground, both feet, both knees, both hands and the face. It is necessary the forehead rests properly on the ground. If not, then sajda will be invalid, which makes your namaz invalid. The sixth one is Qa'ada Akhira, sitting down at the end of the last rakat. It is fine to sit down for as long as it takes to recite the Tashahhud. The person should sit on their left foot and the toes of the right foot should face the Qibla. 1 toe is farz, 3 are wajib and 5 are sunnah. The seventh one is Khuruje Bisunihi, giving salam at the end of salah. First you must give salam on the right and then the left. Your namaz does not finish until you have done this. To learn more of the rulings of salah, please keep watching Young Muslims.
MashaAllah, namaz is one of the main pillars of Islam. We should read namaz, it's first for us. And one of the best ways of learning how to read namaz and all the rulings is there's a book of Amir Ahl Sunnat called Laws of Salah. We should read that. It has all the rules of namaz, and any questions you may have, the answer is in that book. Now we're going to move on to our last segment, which is called The Essence of Worship.
Assalamu alaikum. Today we're going to learn a dua while leaving the home. Please repeat after me. Bismillahi.
Bismillahi.
Tawakkaltu.
Tawakkaltu.
Ala Allahi.
Ala Allahi.
La hawla.
La hawla.
Wa la quwwata.
Wa la quwwata.
Illa billah.
Illa billah.
Bismillahi.
Bismillahi.
Tawakkaltu.
Tawakkaltu.
Ala Allahi.
Ala Allahi.
La hawla.
La hawla.
wa la quwwata.
Wa la quwwata.
Illa billah.
Illa billah.
Bismillahi.
Bismillahi.
Tawakkaltu.
Tawakkaltu.
Ala Allahi.
Ala Allahi.
La hawla.
La hawla.
wa la quwwata.
Wa la quwwata.
Illa billah.
Illa billah.
Bismillahi.
Bismillahi.
Tawakkaltu.
Tawakkaltu.
Ala Allahi.
Ala Allahi.
La hawla.
La hawla.
wa la quwwata.
Wa la quwwata.
Illa billah.
Illa billah.
Now we're going to read the translation of the dua. In the name of Allah, and I have trusted in Allah, incapability to refer for sin, and the ability to do good deeds, and from Allah only. This dua is recited when you leave the home.
MashaAllah, we should always try to read this dua when we leave our house. Now, before the program finishes, we asked you a question at the start. How long did it take for the Quran to get revealed? The answer to the question is, the Quran was revealed in 23 years. If you got the answer right, well done, you did amazing. Now, thank you for watching our program. Watch it, you should watch it all the time. There's lots of learning, lots of good stuff in this program. Tell your friends to watch as well, and we'll see you next time. MashaAllah, the admissions for the Jamiatul Medina has started. Please enroll yourself, your family, your brothers, your cousins, anyone who you think is good enough to do this. Please enroll them in.